Give me a K. K. Give me an A. A. Give me an H. H. Give me an I. I. What's that spell? KAHI. Go Hillman.
Placer Hillman High School football is on the air. Tonight's game on 104.5 FM and 950 AM KAHI is brought to you by Depot Bay Coffee Roasters, Keith Thomas State Farm Insurance, by Mackey Heating and Air, by Mel's Diner, River Valley Community Bank, by Robinson's Sand and Gravel, Roseville Auto Mall, and by Auburn Trophies. Now let's take you out to the field. Here's Keith and Phantom.
All right, the kickoff is underway as Jackson takes it at under the 10. He breaks a couple tackles. Jackson out across the 20, and he's held up around the 25. So for the third straight week, Phantom, Keith Jouganatos here alongside the Phantom, the Hillman electing to defer the kickoff, and they will get the ball to start the second half. But for the first part of this contest and this chapter in this playoff game, it'll be DeVille Barksdale and the 6-4 West Park Panthers getting the ball to start this contest.
Yeah, Hillman going to set the tone with their defense, according to Coach Montoya.
This drive starts at the 25 for West Park. Barksdale in the gun. Looking to audible. Niuala, who's got 8 touchdowns receiving on the year, is flanked outside wide on the far sideline on the left. 2 receivers on the near side. Barksdale gets the pass, quick step drop, throws it, pass caught at the 30 as Sisson is finally leveled and taken down at around the 33. So Sisson gets the first grab. Gain of 7 on that play. 2nd and 3 coming up now.
Sisson, one of the many sophomores that get a lot of playing time for West Park. Reminder, they have no seniors on the squad.
Ball at the 33 here on 2nd and short with 11:32 to play in the first. They're going to get Duncan, the tackle, number 23. Duncan, who's been all around the field here in the last couple of weeks on defense. Barksdale in the gun, sends one man in motion. He fakes the jet sweep handoff, going to take it up the middle. Got about a yard or 2, pushed back. And a great job there by Maxwell Joyner, who pushed him back. It's good enough for a first down, however, looking forward progress. So the ball now marked at the West Park 36.
And that's what we're going to see probably. Barksdale through the air and short passes, and Barksdale run the ball behind his running back right up the middle.
Another shotgun situation here for West Park. Having some trouble getting the plays in to start the game. Now they're going to audible, and in that case send Sisson in the slot here on the far side. Barksdale drops back the pass. Pressure coming, throws it over the side, and it's caught. But a great job there and a great tackle there by Joyner, who lowers the boom. And what a job there, as O'Dowd was in on the tackle as well.
Just a short pass. Barksdale went back, looked around, couldn't find him, but he tried to get a guy peeling off in the middle of the field, but good defense by the Hillman. Cut him down after a gain of 2.
2nd and 9 now with 10:20 to play in the first quarter. Ball is marked at the West Park 37 on the right hash. Josh Maxwell with a big-time hit there as O'Dowd was coming across the middle. Barksdale now once again in the gun. This is West Park's go-to package. Barksdale pressure coming on, trying to get out of the pocket, and he's finally slipped and forced down in the backfield as the Placer Hillman get their first tackle for a loss in the back.
Barksdale was looking, excuse me, Keith, but a couple of times he's looking for a guy to dish the ball to right away. If there's nobody there, then he decided to try to attack around the left side and lost his footing. Good job by the Placer defensive line to get some penetration there.
3rd and 15 now. Placer's first chance to get off the field on 3rd down. Ball is marked at the 31. West Park's got to get to the 46. Tackle was made by Colin Bray, who was recently elected FBL Lineman of the Year. And what a year he's had as he tacks on another stat.
Absolutely, great choice.
Shotgun again for West Park. Back to pass. Barksdale pressure comes to the middle. Tries to get out. He breaks one tackle. Now going to bootleg it out to the far side. Still going. Makes one man miss across the 35. And he is finally upended near the 39-yard line. Gets a couple there, but not quite nearly as enough as he needs for the first down. And so now it's a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, the Hillman brought a couple of blitzers on that one, Keith, and they forced him up the middle, but they weren't able to get him to the ground, and he reeled out to the outside, much like Miles, as we talked about earlier in the game. Got around, but good job by Plaster. Cut him up short, about 5 yards from the first down.
So Nick Horn made the tackle. It was a gain of 9 by Barksdale in the scramble. Now the punt is out. It's way behind Lavelle Davis, who's still searching for the football, which bounces at the 15. Now he catches it on the 3rd hop. Lavelle breaks one tackle, makes one man miss. Still going, and he's finally wrapped up. No, he's still on his feet inside the 20-yard line, and he's finally stood up, and the whistle is blown dead. The play is at the 15. Tackle is made by Sisson.
So we saw, Keith, on that first series right there by West Park, what they're going to try to do, quick passes, and what Plaster's going to try to do, which is make Barksdale pull the ball down and try to run with it and not find open receivers. And now Placer on here, they get their chance. Defense does their job. They get their chance to put their foot on the neck offensively.
This drive for the Hillman will start at their own 18-yard line as Andy Hall and company line up under center for the first play. Halfback toss. It's Lavelle Davis across the 20, still going. Lowers his head and picks up another yard or two as Lavelle Davis gets about a couple there. Forced out of bounds officially at the 23. Gain of 5 and tackled by Sisson.
It looked like Lavelle was going to get a little more yardage. It looked like he kind of slowed down there a little bit and was forced out of bounds. Still got the good game, but it looked like there was more out there. We're checking on that bone.
He looked like he tripped up at around what looks to be the 21 and then trying to gather his footing. Nonetheless, still a good gain of 5 there. 2nd and 5 coming up now from the Hillman 23. Andy Hall fires it to the flat. Pass is caught by what looks to be Lavelle out there on the far side, and he's pushed back at around the 20. So that pass is complete, but it looks like he got back to the line of scrimmage. They're actually going to give him a loss of 2, so now it's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up from the 21.
Yeah, that quick pass out there to Lavelle Davis, but it took a little bit too long to develop, and by the time the ball got there, so did the West Park defense.
So now the Hillman for the first time on 3rd down, and this is a Hillman team when they've had their first couple of drives, especially last week, they got a touchdown in their first 3rd down situation coming up here with 3rd and 7 to go. Hillman must get to the 28 here in this situation to move the sticks. Shotgun for Andy Hall. Drops back the pass, has plenty of time. Going to float it over the middle. Pass is incomplete at around the 30. It was intended for, looks to be number 13, Kernax. Kernax, who caught a ball or two last week against Ponderosa, cannot get it there. He tried to jump up with one hand, Phantom, and just missed it.
Yeah, and that's a big win for the West Park Panthers coming out here after they did not move the ball very well and stopping Placer after a good gain on 1st down. That is really a big win for the Panthers early in this ball game.
So this ball marked the 21 here on 4th and 7 as Ramirez sets to punt this one away. Judah Jackson, number 1, set to return this kick. He's backed up at the West Park 40-yard line. High snap held firmly by Ramirez. It's not one of Jackson's best kicks by far. It's high, and it bounces at the Hillman 45, bounces backwards. At the 43 is where they'll mark it. So not a great punt there by Jackson Ramirez, who we're used to just switching the field position on a dime.
Yeah, and it's about 25 yards on the punt, and now, as we said, West Park with the stop, and now they've got the ball in Placer territory to start this drive.
And that's also the drawback, is now, like you mentioned, Phantom, West Park has the football in Hillman territory. And they'll start this drive at the Placer 43.
And it looks like Barksdale looks to the sideline for the play call a lot, and I have to think that's the reason they're doing that on purpose to take time. As he looks over there now, you think he's ready to go.
Barksdale in the gun. Style is the lone tailback in the backfield. Now he moves over to his left. Barksdale keeps it. He's across the 45-40, breaks one tackle, 35-30, 25, still going, breaks another tackle, and Barksdale is right at the Hillman 20. And so a gain of 23 on the QB keeper by DeVell Barksdale, who has 8 rushing touchdowns on the year, leads West Park both passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns.
I don't know if that was a call play, if that's when they developed Barksdale audible to, but there was no Placer Hillman defender on the left side of the offensive line for West Park. He had a long run. He got 10 yards before he was even touched by a defender.
It's a gain of 22 by Barksdale on the scramble. And so now Barksdale has it at the Hillman 21. Going to fake the handoff again. Barksdale around the corner on the far side. Breaks the tackle. Cuts inside 10. 5. He stretches for the pylon. And Barksdale will be about 3 or 4 yards short and it'll be 1st and goal coming up now for West Park, who is officially inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and 2 very successful runs by Barksdale. Again, just taking the ball and running around the left end and not encountering too much resistance from the Hillman defense.
Ball is officially marked at the 3 now, and this is a situation where Placer's got to be careful because they've had struggles with running quarterbacks all year. Barksdale keeps it on 1st and goal, dives forward. He gets an extra push, and he is, as we wait for the score, it looks like he's just short about the 1-yard line, Phantom. Gets about 2 there, so 2nd and goal coming up.
Yeah, well, I expect to see the same play, running right again. He just took it from behind the center, kind of in a wildcat, and just ran it right up the middle. No reason to think he won't do it again.
Barksdale in the gun on 2nd and goal, lone person in the backfield, and he will walk in right down the pipe for the touchdown, and West Park has taken an early 6-0 lead pending the extra point.
And we talked about having West Park showing them that they were a step up in caliber, so this is not going to be their game, and they've shown them that they have that caliber. They've come out and just taken the ball on exchange of punts, and all of a sudden run the ball with a couple of Barksdale runs, well, a bunch of Barksdale runs, and put their stamp on this game early.
And so now West Park on the 2nd drive will attempt the extra point. Vickers, the wide receiver, to attend the PAT here. And with 5:48 to go, West Park has the lead. Snap hold is almost blocked. And it might be roughing the kicker on that one as Prieto came in like a whirling dervish on the left side of the line and almost blocked it. 7-0 as the PAT by Vickers is good for now.
And so a very impressive 43-yard drive by West Park, all on the ground and all basically without much resistance. That was the part. The 2 big runs by Barksdale to kick off the drive. He took the ball, went around the left side, and there was nobody there. And then got that down inside the 5 and then just run the ball right up the gut.
So like we mentioned, what West Park would need to do in a hostile environment here at Lefevre, Phantom, they've come out, 2nd drive, and they've gone right down the field. And Barksdale, for lack of a better term, was almost nearly in touch the entire time.
Yeah, and I think that if you're just watching from afar, you can say, well, Placer's too, they're overconfident and everything. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but what I do know is that West Park has really been impressive on a defensive series and now on their 2nd offensive series.
So the roughing the kicker penalty will move the kickoff about 5 yards from the 40 to the 45 as West Park will send this kickoff back to Placer. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Phantom.
AuburnTrophies.com.
You never miss.
Never miss.
Prieto and Lavelle back to return this kickoff. And so now Vickers, who just made the PAT good, will fly this one back to the Hillman. It's a low line drive kick. It goes right to Prieto, who's out across the 25. Makes one man miss, tries to bounce it out. He's spun around near the Placer 30, and so Prieto went on for a wild ride there on that kickoff. It looked like it might have been a face mask call, but they're not going to throw the flag there for now.
And then we have what is a critical point in the game with 5:41 to go in the first quarter because it's Placer that's taking a punch to the mouth, and now they have to get up off the canvas and show West Park what they're made of.
So the Hillman, who started last week against Pondo down 7-0, will start this drive from their own 29 down 7-0 against West Park in round 1 of the postseason with 5:41 remaining in the first. They're going to go up the middle to Lavelle Davis, get the blocker 2. He's out across the 30 and finally tackle it around the 35 in between the hashes. Gain of 6.
Another good run by Davis. Another good run that it looked like he went down a little bit before he had contact. So perfect job by the offensive line, getting a big hole to go through.
Nualala credited with a tackle, and so Lavelle Davis makes it officially a gain of 6 on 1st and 10. 2nd and 4 now from the Hillman 35 with 5:15 to play. Ball in the gun. They go back to Davis, has a blocker 2. He's tripped up at around the 38. It looks like they might give him the first down. They're going to mark this for sure, and it is going to be a first down as they move the chains on 2nd and 4.
And I'm sure Joey Montoya said, let's go out there and regain some stability here. Let's get Davis, let's establish Davis, and then we can do things off of that after we've established him in the run game.
We are under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, 7-0 West Park. The Hillman from 1st and 10 now at their own 40. They give it to Luca. He's out across the 50, and the first carry by Luca Collins has put them across enemy lines, and a big run there for the Hillman. The first carry that does not go to Lavelle Davis. It is a first down and a big run there for Supaluka.
Again, Luka in there. We've talked about it all season. We talked about it in the pregame. You get different guys in there, gives Lavelle a breather, and gets other guys a chance to put their hands on the ball, and Luka comes through.
First and 10 from the West Park 48. Some trickery. They're going to go up the middle now, and getting that carry is Gage Parada. GP gets it to the West Park 45. We'll see where they officially mark it, and they will mark it at the 45, so a gain of 3 there. 2nd and 7 now.
So a steady diet of Davis, and now Luka Collins engaged Parada. 2nd and 7. Now we got a couple of guys who have established out there. They're ready to go, and the line is doing their job as well.
Parada, who has been banged up all year, good to see him healthy. 2nd and 7 from the West Park 45. They go up the middle again. Lavelle Davis, 35-30, breaks one tackle, 20, 15, 10-5, touchdown, Lasher Hillman! Lavelle Davis strikes once again, and the Hillmen are a point away from tying this one up with 3:56 to go. Hold the phone, though. We've got a penalty, and I think the ref just motioned for it to come back. It's going to be a holding call against Placer, and that'll take 6 right off the board.
Takes it off the board, and just when Placer said that's more like it, well, it is more like it with the play, but with the penalty, they're going to have to come back and do it again.
So a huge momentum swinging play there on the run by Lavelle Davis has just been negated. The ball will go to right back at the 46-yard line, and I got to tell you, Phantom, those kind of plays in the postseason are what separates you from moving on and not moving on. That's a killer penalty there for the Hillman.
The only good side is that it happened so early in the game, and also the good side, we saw Lavelle with a couple of runs early, kind of like come up short or whatever, but that one he extended and it looked great.
Halfback toss on 2nd and 7. Lavelle Davis stiff arms one man, and he gets across the 45 for a gain about 1, maybe 2 if they give him forward progress. And another 3rd down attempt coming up for the Hillman. And so Bolden makes the tackle, and Lavelle kind of got lucky there. It looked like at the 50 he was going to be tackled for a loss, but a great stiff arm to at least get you some kind of forward progress.
Yeah, now you have a 3rd and 7. Remember last time they had to pass, Andy Hall had all day. It couldn't find a receiver. Let's see what happens this time.
So now 3rd and 7, 3:50 to play in the first. Hall under center. They're going to go up the middle. Lavelle Davis breaks one tackle, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. There goes LD. Touchdown, Lasher Hillman. And Lavelle Davis answers right back. They take 1 touchdown off the board. Lavelle says, never mind that now, Phantom. I'll put another one right back up on there. And the Hillmen down 7-6, about to kick a PAT to tie it up.
That's one way to get your 100 yards in, Keith. You go 45 on one and go 48 after that, and you're pretty much at the 100 yards.
So Lavelle Davis, who was named Offensive Player of the Year in our league, shows you why he was, and with 3:40 to go, it takes them less than 10 seconds to put their first touchdown on the board for the Hillman.
Now let's get that PAT, knock this game up, and then we start all over again.
And now the Hillman are motioning for Xander Etsy to get on the field. They were 1 offensive lineman short there on the special teams.
It's kind of easy for the defense to get penetration when you're short a lineman.
So now the PAT, Joyner will hold. Snap is up, and the kick is good. And so we are deadlocked at 7 apiece with 3:40 to go. So the Placer Hillman, who were down in the 2nd drive of the game for West Park on offense, that is what you need from your team, Phantom, to respond with flying colors to tie this one up 7-7.
Well, you mentioned it, Keith. They went down last week at Ponderosa 7-0. And so when they came back last week and won 42-14, came out here with the thought that, hey, we're going to put our imprint on this game right from the beginning. That's not the way it went, but give them credit, give the line credit, put some holes for Lavelle Davis. And on a 3rd and 7, you can see that Joey Montoya really trusts his running game because he went ahead and did a straight-ahead run on 3rd and 7, turned into a big touchdown.
This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Phantom, what is that website?
AuburnTrophies.com.
Right you are. So Lavelle Davis responds with his 25th touchdown on the year in total, and the Hillmen have tied it at 7-7 with 3:40 to go in the first quarter. A much-needed drive to answer back after West Park kind of punched him in the mouth. Ramirez sends this one flying back inside the 10. Neoala will take it at the 5, up the far sideline, makes one man miss on the stutter step, and then he's tackled at around the 21. So now this is going to be interesting, Phantom. We're going to see how the Hillman defense, which has been lights out the last 4 weeks, will respond now after getting their first taste of Barksdale just running it right down their throat.
Well, I'm sure they went over, whenever they do on the sideline, and went over the fact that when the guy has the ball, there has to be somebody on that side of the field, so he can't just run amok over that on that left side. So let's see if they make that adjustment and go ahead and make Barksdale go ahead and run the ball up the middle or take it to the right side.
Barksdale and company start this drive at their own 21 on the left hash with 3:34 remaining in the first quarter. Shotgun. Barksdale gives it up on the jet sweep to Niuala, makes one man miss the 20. He's tackled in the backfield, and that was a great play there by number 23, Duncan, his second tackle of the day, as Duncan was everywhere on that one. He was not fooled by the jet sweep.
Yeah, that's it looks like when Barksdale gives it to somebody else, that is pretty easy to deal with. That was, as you said, a jet sweep that took a long time to develop. Good pursuit by the Placer defenders.
So now it'll be 2nd and 10 with 3:05 to play, and Barksdale and company continue to get those signs from the sideline. Shotgun again, 2 wideouts far side, and now they're going to get a whistle, and I think that was a false start by Sherfan. That'll be about 5 yards there.
Yeah, and Barksdale was in that mode where he was going to go back and look for the pass, but if it wasn't there right away, he was going to take off and run it, which I think is going to be basically the way he goes the rest of the night.
2nd and 15 now as the ball is moved to the 15-yard line. West Park now will have to get to the 31-yard line to move the chains. Shotgun again for West Park. This is likely the only formation they'll use on the night. They haven't gone under center once. And now we get another false start. And the problems up front continue for West Park as they tack on another 5 yards on a second consecutive false start.
You don't see that all the time. I saw a guy go in motion, and I said, wait a minute, that's the left guard. You're not supposed to do that. And you're not supposed to do that. And they were penalized for it.
So now they go from the 21 to the 16 to the 11, and the West Park Panthers are looking at a 2nd and 20 from their own 11-yard line. That is crazy to think. 2 back-to-back false start penalties. Shotgun again. Barksdale looks over to the sideline again. Panthers trying to get something going here after taking the early lead. Placer staying put with all the momentum. They're going to send one man in motion. They go put O'Dowd in the slot. Now Style will go to the other side, and now we're going to get another whistle.
You got to feel like they're trying to.
It's a delay of game penalty, so now it's another 5 yards.
You got to think that the fact that they're taking so long to call the plays, obviously they're trying to shorten the game and keep the ball out of Placer's offense, but they're taking it a little bit too far now. They've made it all the way back to, it looks like, the 10-yard line now.
West Park has committed 3 straight turnovers without even taking a snap. The ball is now at the 6-yard line. It is now 2nd and 25 for the Panthers. Barksdale in the gun. Back to pass. Pump fake. Zips to the near side. And that pass is incomplete, intended for number 9, Sisson. And Sisson made a move and a cut out to the near side, but before he got his head around, he had no idea the ball was coming.
Yeah, and they had a guy kind of open there on the 20-yard line, and you figure this is the play we talked about all season. This is a little bit longer, Keith, but the 3rd and long, Placer defense has had trouble shutting the door on 3rd and long. They're going to have a big chance right here. Probably get some pretty good field position if they can stop them.
Now 3rd and 25. Going to be interesting to see what Joey Montoya and his staff dial up here. Barksdale, bootleg. Cuts it inside, makes one man miss across the 10, 15, 20. Still going is Barksdale, zips it around, and Barksdale has a block, and he's out across the 35, 40, 45, 50. He has the first down and more. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Barksdale is going to score for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Panthers.
94 yards for Neville Barksdale on the most insane, ridiculous quarterback keeper. And I can only imagine Joey Montoya's delight at seeing the quarterback go 94 yards for the score. And West Park has retaken the lead.
Yeah, a crusher right there, Keith. Obviously, 94 yards, but the fact that you have him bottled up, as you were describing perfectly, for the first 10 yards of that trip, it looked like he was going down at any moment. Just kept going, did a spin move, got out of that big cluster, and then just took off. Showed great speed as he outran a couple of Placer defenders for about the last 65 yards or so.
Barksdale, now they'll go for 2. Drops back to pass, breaks one tackle, and he zips his way into the end zone. And the 2-point conversion is good for West Park. And so after a 94-yard touchdown run by DeVell Barksdale. Not only does West Park retake the lead, they go for 2, and they get it, and they lead the Hillman on the road 15-7 with 2:04 to play in the first.
Kind of big. One of the reasons they might have gone for 2 is they had Placer kind of on their heels, kind of in shock right there, and Barksdale pretty easily making the play to get the 2-point conversion. So a really good strategic decision by the Panthers there, and they show that, you came back and scored, but we're still hanging out in this ball game on one of the best runs we've seen all season.
And for the most part on that run, by the way, this kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Phantom?
AuburnTrophies.com.
And on that run, it looked like Barksdale, who kept it up the middle, he actually was done a favor by the Placer defense. They bounced him out to the outside. Yeah. He made a couple of guys miss. He spun around the 15, and then from there, his offensive lineman stuck with it, made a crucial block, and then from there, Barksdale was able to get out to the far sideline and just run for daylight, 94 yards, and that is a back-breaking play so early in the game in a situation where Placer thought, at worst, we're going to be on their side of the field with a punt, and now you've lost lead. It's an onside kick by West Park, and they've got it at the 45. Unbelievable. West Park, after a 94-yard kickoff return and then a 2-point conversion, has the guts to go for an onside kick, and they've gotten it.
That's what we talked about, Keith, before the game. This is a team that's made the playoffs in their first season, won a league title their first season. They're playing with house money. They can go ahead and try anything they want, and so far everything they're trying is working.
And with 2 minutes to play in the first, West Park has the lead up 8 and the football at midfield now. And Barksdale, after I wouldn't even call it a rest, is back on the field.
Not a rest at all.
Yeah. Maybe a water break at best. 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Barksdale in the gun, drops back the pass, low snap, fields it, up the middle he goes, and he's finally sandwiched at the line of scrimmage, and the Placer defensive line said, yeah, that'll not happen again.
Yeah, 150 yards of rushing for Barksdale already, and we still have 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Not the way that Joey Montoya and his defensive coordinators drew this up.
So now it becomes a situation where Placer is looking to not only get the ball back, but just try to kill any momentum that West Park has built here. And the momentum here, folks, is thick for the Panthers on the road. 2 wideouts on the far sideline. Ball is back at the 50 here on 2nd and 10 with 1:23 to play in the first. 1 wideout, lone by himself far on the near side. Barksdale keeps it up the middle. He'll run again. He gets to around the 48 before he's swallowed in the heart of that defensive line. And Barksdale slow to get up for a little bit, and then he finally gets up. So now another 3rd down. It's not 3rd and 25, but it's 3rd and 8. It's manageable.
It's 3rd and 8. It's manageable. That's the play that Placer's had trouble defending all season. The 3rd and 25 I didn't know about, but it's obviously a crucial down for Placer defense.
Shotgun for West Park again, and they are continuing to throw off Placer here by taking as much time as possible and audibly at the line, or at least getting the play call. Barksdale in the gun, has plenty of time, zips it to the middle of the field, pass is caught at around the 44, and that pass was caught by Morse, number 33. He looks to be about 2 yards short of the first down as this ball is marked at the 43.
Yeah, it looks like about 3 yards short, and I wouldn't be surprised, as we've talked about the house money team, if they go for it on this 4th down.
With 18 seconds left in the first quarter, it'll be interesting to see if West Park gets another playoff before the quarter ends, and they will. They're going to go for it on 4th and 3 from the 43. 8 seconds to play in the first. Clock continues to run down, and I think they might just kill this clock at the end of the first quarter, and they will. And so what an eventful first quarter after a touchdown on their second drive and facing a 4th and 25 on the previous drive and getting a 94-yard touchdown run by their quarterback and then the 2-point conversion. The West Park Panthers, the 11th seed, currently lead this game 15-7 on the road at the end of 1 quarter. We'll look to see how your Hillman respond here on KAHI Radio 950 AM.
104.5 FM.
Keith Jouganatos alongside the Phantom, and now Phantom, a huge call here on 4th and 3. What is West Park going to do? They thought about going for it before the end of the quarter, and now it looks like they're going to go for it to start the second.
Yeah, what they're going to do is what they're going to do all night, Keith, which is put the ball in Barksdale's hand and let him make the decisions either with his arm or with his feet and figure out what he wants to do as far as that's concerned. That's what they're going to do all night.
4th and 3 here from the Hillman 43. Barksdale drops back, play action, going to go for it all down the field, and that pass is incomplete at around the 15. He had a receiver down there intended for Neolala down the middle of the field. And so with that, the Hillmen get off the field on 4th and 3.
That's a huge play, and it's a surprising call really to me because that's the first time they've tried to go really deep. They did a couple of long outs, but that was a deep pass. Good defense by the Hillmen. And when you got a guy like Barksdale, I don't go ahead and put him in that, compartmentalize him in that box and make him throw deep. I want him to go out on the run and have a chance to run for the first down if he can. So huge play by the Hillmen.
The Hillmen start this drive at their own 43, and Lavelle Davis has broken free. 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown! Hillman! Lavelle Davis answers right back on the first play of the drive. 57-yard run for LD. Number 26 on the season, and the Hillmen down 2 with 11:45 to play in the second.
Yeah, that decision by West Park bit him right away, right in the backside, as Lavelle Davis took it right up the middle, and now the extra point, the conventional extra point, tried to cut it to 1 for the Hillmen.
So Joey Montoya going for the extra point here after a huge 57-yard run by Lavelle Davis up the middle. Jackson Ramirez back to attempt the PAT. Here we go. Snap good, hold good is down, kick is up, and it is good. And the Hillmen down 1 after Lavelle Davis responds right back with flying colors. A 57-yard run right down Broadway, and the Hillmen down 1.
Well, let's see. The only bad thing about that, and there's not a lot of bad things about a 57-yard touchdown run, is the defense was on the field for a long time, and now they were off for one play, and now they're back on the field to try to take on DeVille Barksdale and West Park. But on the other hand, obviously exactly what the Hillmen needed, and coming on the heels of what I think was probably maybe not the right call on 4th and 3 for the Panthers.
This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Phantom, that website
is auburnTrophies.com. Is that what you wanted me to say?
I think that's what I wanted you to say.
Nailed it.
And I thank you for that.
Nailed it.
Ramirez set to kick this one back, and we mentioned it. The Hillmen were going to have to get some home run plays here by Lavelle, and they did right there in a much-needed time and place.
Yeah, a couple of touchdown runs totaling over 100 yards for Lavelle already here tonight.
Ramirez runs up and sends this one flying inside the West Park 10. It's muffed by a minute as Neolala has it across the 25 near the 30, and Neolala, who almost coughed up the football around the 10-yard line, and the ball is now started at the West Park 30.
I think the fact that he almost coughed it up actually affected the pursuit from the Placer special teams. I think he got it back a little bit further than he would have gotten in other circumstances. But here we go again, defense versus Barksdale. Your Honor, here's the court reading right now. That's what we're going to see all night.
We'll see what the judge's verdict's on this one. Ball and drive start at the 29 for West Park with 11:38 remaining in the first half. They've taken their time all night on offense, getting the plays in, and they've looked over at the sideline for the coaching staff every single play now. Now we're going to get a whistle, and we're going to get a timeout on Placer's end. It's their first timeout of the first half. They got 2 remaining. Barksdale in the gun here, 1st and 10. High snap, able to field it cleanly, hands it up the middle, 35, 40, maybe to the 31, maybe 39. is where they'll mark this down. A great run there by Zy Style. And he gets it to about the 38 where they'll mark it. They're going to give it about an 8-9 yard carry. 2nd and 1 coming up as Luca Collins made the tackle to save the first down.
Yeah, just a straight handoff up the middle. Kind of a weird play for West Park. You don't see many of those, but he had a good hole up there.
Barksdale in the gun now. Style in the backfield, right next to him on his left. Turns, fires it, and that pass is fumbled. Are they going to call it an incomplete pass? Pass was caught in the slant by Sisson for a minute. But then they're going to rule it incomplete. And so now it'll be 3rd and short coming up.
That's much more indicative, I think, of the passing game that West Park has. Is the quick hitter. It's not like the long pass they tried on the last series. That was a quick hitter to Sisson. Good hit by the Placer defense. They did a lot of that last week. They hit receivers, separated them from the ball.
3rd and 1. They're going to go up the middle, and it looks like they have the first down right at the 40 as the carry was made by number 33, Jordan Morse, the tight end, and they're going to give Morse the first down as he just gets the 40, and so a fresh set of downs there for West Park on the 3rd and 1 conversion on the run.
And again, they had a big first down, then they tried to pass on 2nd down, came back with the short run that time to get the first down. Good defense by the Hillman.
So now ball at the West Park 40. First down, they're going to go for it all in the play. It's caught at the 40. Breaking one tackle is Sisson, and he is down. And now we got a late flag on the far sideline. Great play action there by Barksdale, who zipped it right to Sisson for the first down conversion. And the ball for now is marked at the Placer 39.
Yeah, it looked like Joyner was coming up. He might have had a chance to cut in front of that one. Just got there a little too late. Barksdale likes to do a pump fake to a short receiver first and then look down the field. And almost that was pulled away.
And so now it'll be a face mask penalty on the Hillman. So on top of that first down pass completion to Sisson, the Hillman now have this football deep in their own territory. That moves the ball from the 40 to what looks to be the 23-yard line. So a huge face mask penalty there, Phantom, on the Hillman. That's going to give West Park more than an ample chance to get some more points.
And also give them, Keith, some confidence, which is the one thing you didn't want to give them coming into this game. They got it early, and they're keeping it now with this drive.
Barksdale going to keep it himself, has room across the 25, breaks tackle 20, still going, ball's on the ground, but Barksdale looks to have recovered it at the 15. And no, the Hillmen say they have it, but no, Barksdale says he was down. He fumbled the ball at around the 20, a great heads-up play on the defense, but the possession will stay with the Panthers of West Park at the Hillman 15.
Yeah, and that was another one of those plays where Barksdale just took the ball out and ran around his left end, and all there's out there is the defensive backs are one-on-one with receivers. Luckily, one of the guys got the hand in and poked the ball away.
Ball now at the Placer 15. Barksdale back to pass as time. Looks to the near side. Pass is caught at the 5 by Neoala, who was quickly taken down. And so now we'll have 1st and goal coming up now. And so a gain of about 14-15 on that pass completion by Neolala, who leads West Park in touchdowns, receiving touchdowns this year. He's brought down at the 6, 1st and goal coming up.
It was just an effective go down the sidelines, turn around, and wait for the ball to get there, and Barksdale delivered it on time, gave them the 1st and goal situation.
15-14, West Park with 9:27 to go in the second quarter. As Barksdale in the gun. Style number 16 moves to the Barksdale's right side. 2 wideouts on his right, on the far side, 1 on his left, Neoala, on the near side. Barksdale going to keep it himself, fakes out everybody, spin moves across the 5, and they're going to knock him backwards. We'll wait to see where forward progress nets Barksdale on the forward progress for a gain of about 1 there. 2nd and goal coming up with 8:52 to play in the second.
Yeah, and that was one of the plays, Keith, maybe the best play, the best pursuit. Barksdale held on to the ball. Then about 2, 3, 4 Placer defenders bottling him up on the left side, which is an area he's been going to with ease so far in this game. So good play by the Hillman.
Clock continues to run. 8:35 to go in the second quarter. Barksdale in the gun once again. 2 wideouts on the near side. Barksdale looking for somebody. Pressure coming, and they're going to wrap him up and at the 10-yard line. Boom, shakalaka goes the defensive line. A huge sack there by the Hillman defense. as Maxwell, the middle linebacker, came through the middle, and he dialed one up for Barksdale.
Good job by the Placer defenders. Kind of another weird situation where they're running the ball so effectively, and Barksdale on second down and goal goes back to pass, nobody open because there's not a lot of room to operate. And great job by Placer. He almost got away that time too.
And so now we've got 3rd and goal now from the Hillman 10. A huge play here for Placer. Barksdale in the gun, drops back, pressure coming, floats it over the middle to Morse, who's got the 5, breaks one tackle, still going, and he will not get there as the Hillmen stop Morse just short. And that was a scary play there as Jordan Morse had some blockers in the middle of the field there, Phantom. But great job by the Hillmen to force him out of bounds at the 3-yard line by Pritt.
A tight end screen on that one, and well thrown by Barksdale and well defended by Placer because there was one guy that had to make the tackle. He made the tackle and kept Morse out of the end zone.
So now it is 4th and goal with 7:14 to play in the second quarter. And now we're going to get a timeout by West Park. That is their first timeout of the first half. They got 2 remaining, and this is going to be a huge play in the game, Phantom, because you're looking at a 15-14 lead with 7:12 to go. If West Park goes for this and they don't get any points, they walk away with nothing. All right, 2 wide outs to the near side on Barksdale's left, 1 out wide on the right on the far side. Style in the backfield, the lone tailback. Barksdale in the gun. He's going to give it off to Style, who leans for the touchdown. He did not get it, Placer, California. And the Hillmen with a huge 4th and goal denial at the entranceway. You shall not pass.
That's what they did, exactly. Just a scratch. They went ahead and they tried to go a style up the middle and not let Barksdale make any moves. And great job by Placer defense. Remember, they've got to figure out, they've got a lot to try to figure out. There's a lot of ways they're being attacked so far, and they really did a great job on that one by staying home and stopping Style on about, it looks like, the 3-yard line.
And so the Hillmen get off the field on 4th and 3. Now they're backed up at their own 3. They're going to give it up the middle, and it's a great job there as they're across the 15. Bound around the 17-yard line. And so the Hillmen not only in back-to-back plays on that run there by Costa Alexic, not only get out of harm's way, but they come away with no points given up.
Oh, it's a huge play, as you know, Keith, and also a huge thing to do to get out of the shadow of your own end zone, the shadow of your own goalpost on the first play with Alexic putting about 13 yards on.
14-yard run by Alexic officially. They're going to go up the middle. Ball is fumbled, and West Park has it at the 15. They're still going 10-5, touchdown. And it is a back-breaking touchdown as it was given up on the fumble recovery. Number 18, Bolden came up with it as it was out of the hands of Lavelle, and it went right to Bolden. And that is a touchdown for West Park on a 15-yard fumble recovery, 21-14.
And that's the sickening feeling in the pit of your stomach just when you had things going your way and make the critical mistake, and now you're behind the 8 ball again, and it looks like they're going to go for 2 once again.
So West Park now fresh off the fumble recovery for a touchdown. Great job by Bolden, number 18, at the presence of mind. He literally caught that ball in the air and just ran right up the middle. With 6:38 to go now, West Park will go for 2 for the second time in this contest. Now we're going to get another timeout for the Panthers. And that's their second timeout. They've got 1 remaining. 21-14 after the fumble recovery by West Park of 15 yards with 6:38 remaining in the first half. Huge 2-point conversion attempt for the Panthers of West Park coming up here. Interesting formation. All the offensive linemen on the left side. They're going to zip it over the middle. It's caught, and it looks like they didn't get it, and they do not. So West Park lined up all their offensive linemen on the left. It was just Barksdale and the center lined up in the middle of the field. He zipped it over the middle to Style, who could not get in. And so the Hillmen deny West Park again at the goal line. First it was that 4th and 3. Now it's this 2-point conversion. The Hillmen down 7 here on KAHI Radio, 950 AM, 104.5 FM. Keith Jouganatos alongside the Phantom. So we've seen everything that could have go wrong in the first half so far for the Hillman Phantom, and they're only down 7.
Yeah, some of it has gone right just for West Park, give them credit, but you're right. As far as the start that the Hillman got, and then they fell behind early, made the big stop, and then coughed it up for the touchdown. Yeah, they've had some real adversity so far here in this first half.
West Park with a low kick lands at the Hillman 25. It bounces into the hands of Luca Collins, who had a little bit of daylight, and he gets about a gain of 25 on that kickoff return across the 40, down around the 44-yard line. And so super Luca Collins, it hit him right in the face mask. He then proceeded to catch it and go for a little bit.
Yeah, once he got a hold of it, he did a good job of it. It was a little tough trying to corral it, but once he got it, the nature of the kick kind of stretched out the defense, or the special teams of West Park, the Panthers, and Luca with a nice little burst there, about 20 yards up the middle of the field. Great field position for your Hillman.
Gain of 22 on the pop-up from the infield into his face by Collins, who runs right up the middle. 1st and 10 from the 42. Play action. Prieto downfield the 30. Caught with 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown! Lasser Hillman! Andy Hall. Big, deep ball. Andy Hall strikes Pater right down the middle of the field. And the Hillmen have cut the deficit to 1, pending the PAT.
On the 58.
Great job by Andy Hall in the backfield, just faking, doing the Houdini bit and faking the ball. All of a sudden he pulls it back and nobody knows what's going on, and there's a guy wide open.
He didn't find a rabbit up his sleeve, but he found a football, and he slung it from Auburn Boulevard right down the middle of the pipe on the field to Prieto, who caught it in stride. The Hillmen get the West Park Panthers on the play action. 6:24 to play, and the Hillmen attempted a PAT to tie it at 21 all. Ramirez back to kick it. Snap good, hold good. Ramirez's kick is up. It is beautiful. And the Hillmen have tied it at 21. All it took was one play for Lavelle Davis to get the touchdown. And all it takes is Andy Hall one play to get the touchdown to Prieto to tie this one up at 21.
Yeah, it's a game of the quick hitters. West Park's keeping the ball all half, and Plaster gets it in for 1. And it's a one-play touchdown 3 in a row now as far as offensive, defensive, offensive. But that's huge, obviously. Andy Hall has not thrown the ball at all. Just 2 passes so far in the half. Perfect touch on that pass, and just hit him in stride for the touchdown.
6:24 remaining in the first half. 42 combined points, and we are deadlocked at 21-21 all here in round 1 of the D4 playoffs bracket between number 6 Placer and number 11 West Park. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway, the Phantom, and the website
AuburnTrophies.com.
You are correct, sir. So Prieto snags that touchdown. The speed takes over, and they tie it at 21. Ramirez sends this kickoff flying inside the 10. It's taken by Neil Alu, who makes one man miss, cuts it upfield, breaks another tackle around the 25. A penalty flag comes in from the back judge at around the 50. So Neil Alu gets it to around the 26, but a penalty marker is down. We'll wait to see what the call is on the field.
Neil Alu, kind of a tall running back out there. He doesn't look like he's moving very fast, but he makes some strides, and hopefully for the Hillman, obviously, the penalty is going to be on West Park.
And that it is.
It will be.
And that it is. We get a holding call on West Park that'll move the football back inside the 25, and so that run by Neil Alu on the kickoff is negated completely.
And Placer's been asking a lot of their defense lately. As you point out, Keith, they've had 2 great stops in a row, and now they're going to go out and they've got a whole field to work with, and it's a big series in this first half.
So this ball now marked at the West Park 18 after the holding call on the kickoff return by West Park. 6:16 to go in the first half. We're tied at 21. Barksdale in the gun. He's going to keep it himself. Cups it upfield across the 25, and finally will actually take it down at the line of scrimmage. He might have lost 1 at about the 19, and so Perez makes the stop in the backfield for about a loss of 1.
1 yard gain.
Well, actually a 1 yard gain, so 2nd and 9 coming up now with 5:55 to go from the 19.
And let's give props to Diego Perez, defensive MVP of the FVL this year. So great job by Diego all season, and great job on that play.
Shotgun again for West Park as Perez, the co-defensive MVP, with a stop. Plenty of time for Barksdale. Zips it across the middle of the field. Pass is caught at the 30 by Morris. And there might be a penalty flag on the face mask. No, there isn't. But nonetheless, Barksdale with an 11-yard zip to Morris across the middle will move the chains at the 30. 1st and 10 with 5:32 to go.
And that time, totally too much time for Barksdale for the Placer defense and for the Placer defensive coaches. If he's going to get that kind of time, he's going to find somebody, and they work the crossing route to Morris.
We will be under 5 minutes to play in the second quarter in the first half alone after this play likely or the next one. 1st and 10 for West Park as they're moving now at the 30 after the drive. Some movement. No false start. Barksdale gets away from 1, bounces out of the pocket, passes caught at the 38. as it was Sisson who makes the catch at the 38. Just shy of the first down marker. It'll be second and short coming up.
Yeah, it looked clearly like someone on the left side of the offensive line took off before the snap, but not called. And Barksdale goes around, runs around, finally finds Sisson for a short gain.
4:45 to play now as Sisson with about an 8-7 yard catch. And now we're going to get an official's timeout here. Ball is marked at the West Park 38 currently. It's 2nd and 2 officially. West Park's got to get to their own 40 to move the sticks. And now they're going to say run the clock, and so with 4:44 to go, 2nd and 2 coming up now for the Panthers. Barksdale in the gun. Getting the call from the sideline. West Park has had no trouble moving the football on our Hillman tonight. Got to give them credit. The offensive line is blocking their tails off. Barksdale keeps it, and now we're going to get a whistle. And we're going to get a false start on West Park. So they don't get one, Phantom, on the previous play.
Maybe
but then the refs give us a little, they give us one for the effort.
A little something for the effort, on that
2nd
one.
and 7 coming up.
Absolutely, and you made a good point. West Park, give them credit. They really moved the ball with ease against Placer, except for obviously the goal line stand that they put on, but still they moved the ball all the way down to the 3-yard line. And it's going to be something where right now it looks like it's going to be something where one move or one play here or there may decide this ball game.
2nd and 7 after the 5-yard penalty on the false start for the Panthers of West Park. Ball to 33, pass caught by Morse to 35 out of the backfield. He gets to around the 40. A great second effort by Morse, which might have gotten in the first down, and by the looks of the Phantom, they have it.
Yeah, and again, we had Placer had a hands on Morse before he made that move upfield, couldn't bring him down. It was a really quick pass by Barksdale to Morse. Placer defender on him, couldn't bring him down, and he gets the first down.
Morse with a gain of 8 with the pass caught out of the slot. Moves the ball to the West Park 41. Barksdale in the gun. He's got style, the lone tailback in the backfield right next to him. Dropping back is Barksdale. Plenty of time. Steps up in the pocket. Floats it over the middle. Incomplete at the 35 of the Hillman. Intended for Morse up the middle of the field. And it was just out of his fingertips. He reached over for one-hand grab, but could not get it. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Similar attack offensively through the air that Ponderosa had last week, Keith, where they tried to work the middle of the field. Go ahead and stretch the guys out. Put guys on both sides. We try to work that middle of the field. That time just a little bit too high for the receiver.
And Morris, who's done a great job so far in this game of catching passes in the slot, has been everywhere. They'll probably go to him more often in the second half. Barksdale gives it up the middle to Style, who might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. There was some movement there. They faked it to O'Dowd off the jet sweep. They give it to Style. Gain of 1 is where they'll credit Style. So now you got 3rd and 9 coming up from the West Park 41, 42 maybe.
So that Placer offensive line, the interior of the defensive line has been pretty sturdy so far. It's been attacking the edges that's got them in problem, except for obviously the long run that Barksdale came through and bounced off everybody. Placer's really set that line very well.
3:33 to go in the first half. Placer has West Park now at their own 42. 3rd and 9 coming up. The Hillman in the later games in this 4-game winning streak have done a great job getting off the field on 3rd down. They're going to need it right now. This is a huge play in the game. Barksdale on the gun. 2 wideouts on both sides of the ball. He drops back the pass, zips it over the middle. Pass is caught, and the ball's on the ground, and the Hillman have recovered it at the West Park 43-yard line. Beautiful boys down there on the defense. A huge turnover by the Hillman, and they get the ball in West Park territory at their own 44. Great job, Maxie. Josh Maxwell with the fumble recovery.
And something we haven't seen a lot of, but we saw it again on that play, Keith, which is they've sent a couple of defensive backs to try to make Barksdale do something quickly. He got the ball out, I think, before he wanted to. They wouldn't have gotten the first down, but they got the fumble.
1st and 10, 3:09 to go. They're going to give it to Lavelle Davis around the corner, 35. Lavelle sends one man flying backwards as Lavelle lowered his head and sent Jackson flying back at the 35. What a run by Lavelle Davis, and that had a little oomph on it at the end, Phantom.
Yeah, that had a little bit of, okay, now let's try to assert ourselves a little bit here. After they pick up the turnover, Lavelle Davis goes around the outside and goes, yeah, it's time to lower the arm, lower the head, and let's go ahead and knock somebody backwards and get that first down.
They move the chains on 1st and 10 for another first down. They're now at the West Park 35 after the emphatic run by Lavelle. They're going to go back up the middle, and it's 35, 20, 15, 10, Luca, 5, still going, Collins, touchdown! Last player, huge play, and it's actually Costa. It was so great we had no idea who had the football. Costa comes in.
It's the old 28, Luca Collins. The new 28's Costa Alexic, and he made a great runner on the right side. Had to stop a couple of times, stutter step, to get the defenders off him, and made it through for the touchdown.
And we got a West Park player down on the field. A great run by Costa Alexic, which nets them the score and the lead back for Placer. Ramirez back to kick the PAT with 2:53 to go in the first half. Snap good, hold good, kick is up, and it is good. So Jackson Ramirez's PAT makes it a 7-point lead for the Hillmen with 2:53 to go in the first half. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Fan on the website,
AuburnTrophies.com.
So the Hillmen, in a span of less than 5 minutes, get a fumble recovery, get a big run by Lavelle Davis at the 35, and then Costa Alexic, the sophomore, finishes it off with a 35-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Lavelle Davis's run was a little shorter, but I think in attitude-wise, it was pretty long, too, because he went in there and laid a lick on one of the West Park defenders, and I think probably sent a little bit of a message to his teammates.
2:53 to go, 49 combined points here in the first half. Your Hillmen have secured a 7-point lead for the time being. Now, here comes the hard part, trying to stop the electric and dynamic Barksdale and crew on defense.
Yeah, and you got him. You stopped him once, and that was with you stopped him on a goal line stand and with a turnover, and those are the only 2 times you've done it.
Ramirez sends this kick zooming past the 20. Snagging it at the 5-yard line is Jackson, who turns it upfield across the 15. Makes one man miss. Now we got a flag on the field.
Jackson forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
As Jackson is out of bounds near the 20 on the far sideline. We got a flag, as I mentioned, coming down on the field. Wait to see who this is on.
Yeah, you don't usually see a guy in a kickoff catch the ball running back over his shoulder, but that's what happened that time.
Jouganatos, number 19, with the tackle on the kickoff. And it's going to be on West Park. The penalty is, and it's going to be a block in the back. So West Park now will start this drive inside their own 10 after a block in the back penalty on the kickoff.
Another good break for the Hillmen. That's what happened last time when they get that penalty right away and force Barksdale back into almost his own end zone. And, of course, he did pull out a 94-yard run earlier in the game, so that's no guarantee.
This drive starts at the West Park Panthers' own 8-yard line. 2 wideouts on both sides of the line. Shotgun, no tailbacks. Barksdale zips over the middle, pass caught by Morse at the 10. So gain of about 3 there as Morse is wrestled down at the 11 near the near sideline. And with 2:35 to go, West Park's going to waste no time, fam. They're going to go in the hurry up.
Yeah, and it almost looked like it did again, Keith, on that time. The guy on the left side of the line took off a little bit early. We'll see if that continues to happen. I think that's the way they run that play, the timing of it.
Morse officially with a gain of 4 on 1st and 10. 2nd and 6 now from the West Park 12. 2:17 to play. Barksdale up the middle. He's across the 15, across the 20, 25, makes one man miss, 30, 35, and he will finally get out of bounds on the far sideline. A gain of 23, but now we're going to get a flag on the field around the 28. We'll wait to see who this is on.
Another big play by Barksdale, and he has, he gets himself some open field, and he really takes advantage of it, but it looks like that one might come back.
We'll wait to see what the flag is. We still haven't gotten a word. Placer is saying it's going to be on them, and it's actually going to be a hold on West Park. And so that run by Barksdale is negated with 2:07 to go in the first half.
So both teams now with some big runs negated. Remember, Lavelle Davis had a touchdown negated earlier in the game because of a penalty, and Barksdale loses 23 yards right there.
Ball is spotted at the 15, so 2nd and 3 now. Maybe a gain of 3 if you count the 3 yards.
Let's do it that way.
All right, ball at the 15 for West Park on the right hash. 2:07 to play. The Panthers down 7 to the Hillman. Barksdale zips it to the far side. Pass is caught by Nualala, who's still going, who gets the first down and more across the 20 and upended on the far side at the 22.
Pass complete.
Again,
So
a guy looking up on the left side, looked like taking over early.
So 2 minutes officially remaining in the first half. We might have another penalty here. Going to wait to see what the ref's call is. And I think they're going to move the ball upwards. And it's a face mask on the Hillman. And so that'll move the ball up even more. So West Park gets a huge penalty on the run by Barksdale, but then the face mask gets them the ball now at the 26.
Yeah, and you don't want to give them free yardage here at the end of the half. Remember, as you always point out, Placer with the ball to start the second half.
Shotgun now for Barksdale. No tailbacks in the backfield. Quick pass to the far side. Pass is caught by Neolala. Ball is on the ground. It's still on the ground, and the Hillmen have recovered it. We'll wait to see if they were out of bounds. They were not. The Hillmen have the ball at the West Park 20. Another costly fumble that the Hillmen come up with deep in enemy territory.
Another time that the Placer defensive backs hitting hard, forcing separation, the ball from the receiver and picking it up. And again, we talk about it all the time. With a minute and a half to go, you put one in now and you get the ball to start the second half. That's a huge swing.
And so now the Hillmen with 1:36 have an opportunity not just to go up 2 scores, Phantom, but then on top of that go up 2 scores and get the ball back after half.
Yeah, that is a tremendous idea.
Ball is now at the West Park 20, and the guys in green have it. Hall under center, gives it up the middle. Still going is the tailback across the 15. Wait to see who that is. By the looks of it, it is Lavelle, and so Lavelle gets this ball inside the West Park 15, a gain of 5 on 1st and 10. And it's actually going to be a gain of 7, so now it's going to be 2nd and 3 coming up.
And we've seen pretty good holes being ripped up. As we go further through the second quarter, the offensive line is really opening up big holes.
They're going to go give it up the middle again. There's room. Lavelle Davis to the outside. Touchdown! Lasher Hillman! 1:03 to go, and Lavelle Davis has put the Hillman up 13, pending the PAT. Dynamite!
And that's just what we're saying on cue. The offensive line has really taken over this game as we've gone into the second quarter. And I think West Park might be a little bit back on their heels, and Placer's taking advantage of that and just running at the ball at will.
So the Hillmen, with some costly turnovers that they recover, have turned them both into points now, as Lavelle Davis with another rushing touchdown to add to the resume on this great senior season.
I believe that gives him 27 on the ground, Keith, for the season.
You would be correct, partner. Ramirez set for the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good right down the middle. And so your Hillmen, after 2 fumble recoveries, have turned those into 14 points, 7 apiece. They're up 35-21 with 1:03 to go in the first half.
But 1:03 is enough time for dangerous DeVille Barksdale to make something happen. So Placer obviously needs to be on their guard. And again, a key to this is going to be the special teams as far as the kickoff. How well is it covered? How much yardage does he have to make up to try to score before the end of the half?
1:03 to play, 35-21. Hillman over the Panthers of West Park. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Fan on the website,
AuburnTrophies.com.
Ramirez lines up to kick this one away. And the Hillman now with a 14-point lead, sitting comfortably here at home. 1:03 remaining in the first half. But West Park is deadly on offense and has been all season. That's plenty of time to put some points on the board. Neoala takes Ramirez's kick at the 10 on the far side, cuts it upfield across the 20, still going, and gets an extra push across the 25 as with a huge one there. And so now the West Park Panthers will set up shop across their own 25 with about 54 seconds remaining in the first half and 1 timeout to spare.
The second time in a row that Ramirez's kickoff has been kind of to the left side of the field and forced the receiving back to go backwards and make the catch, and then have to reassert himself, turn around and start up the field. It's been very successful for the Hillmen.
Shotgun for Barksdale and company at the 26. 54 seconds to go. Barksdale going to keep it himself around the corner, cuts it upfield. He's tackled around the 30-yard line, and the clock will continue to run as it's about a gain of 3 there by Barksdale on 1st and 10. About a gain of 4, actually. So now 2nd and 6 coming up with 37 seconds.
A little surprised they're not trying something since, as we've mentioned several times, Placer with the ball to start the second half. So this may be the last time that West Park has the ball for quite some time.
27 seconds to go, and by the looks of it, Phantom, they have their hands in their hips. They're in nowhere near a position to get a playoff. So West Park might just go into the locker room down 14, and now they're going to line up with about 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Barksdale on the gun. Now we're at 10 seconds. They do get a playoff as Barksdale going to throw it long, has a man downfield. The pass is caught at the 30 and out of bounds. An unbelievable catch at the 28-yard line. And a huge play by O'Dowd, or actually Sisson. So Sisson with a huge catch, and with 2 seconds, that stops the clock.
And puts them in striking distance. We talked about Danny Miles from Oakmont. This is exactly what he did when they came to play Placer a couple weeks ago. striking at the end of the half, striking at the end of the game on improbable plays.
West Park will have one final play in the first half. 2 seconds. Barksdale back to pass. He'll zip it to the 25. Pass is caught by Neil Alla, who's tackled at the 15, and that'll do nothing and put no points on the board. So after one half of football in round one of the D4 bracket, your Hillman, off 2 costly fumbles, turnovers, turn into touchdowns, lead the number 11 seed West Park Panthers 35-21 here. We're going to go to break. Halftime coming up. We'll be right back here on KAHI Radio, 9:50 a.m.
104.5 FM.
So the Hillman will start this second half with the football, receiving the football. And it's going to be really interesting to see, Phantom, how West Park comes out on defense, because in order for them to get back in this football game, down 2 touchdown scores, they're going to need to cause some turnovers. And the only time they got those turnovers was literally the Hillman handed it to them in the first half.
Yeah, exactly right. And they're going to have to say what we've said that the Hillman are doing so well. West Park's over there going, I know they're doing it well. We've got to stop that if we want to get back in this game.
This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies, 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Phantom, the website, please.
AuburnTrophies.com. I'm just looking around because there's like 200 people in here. Have you noticed it today?
This is like a concert.
You know why? Playoffs. It's playoffs. Oh, this is backstage.
This is like concert.
This is backstage.
The Aerosmith concert,
All right. All access for everybody here. That's what I say.
So the West Park Panthers will kick it off here. It's a high arcing kick, which will be taken at the 20 by Lavelle Davis, across 25-30. Bumps it out to the far side, 35, and he's finally tackled around the 36-yard line. And so here comes Andy Hall and the Hillman up 14 points. And they were really, like we mentioned in halftime, they were credited with a couple of turnovers that gave them great field position to start those drives that they finished off with touchdowns.
Right, but they finished them off really quickly. We talked about that was the one-shot touchdown drives. I think at 3 different times it was 1, 2, or 3 plays, and they were in the end zone.
This drive starts at the 36, the first one for the Hillman in the second half. They're going to go up the middle. There's some room, 40, 45, 50, and getting to midfield with a huge carry there are the Hillman, and it's a great job there by the Hillman of moving the football and the chains by Costa Alexic, who had one of those touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah, just 3 carries for Costa and 64 yards, so he has been a key figure in a cameo-like appearance so far in this game.
Gain of 15 there by Costa. It's 1st and 10 now from the West Park 49. They go back to the run up the middle of Lavelle Davis, breaks it upfield, 40, 35, still going as Lavelle across the 30, still on his feet, and finally tackled at around the West Park 26. All aboard the LD train as he takes a couple for a ride on that huge run.
And I just don't expect Placer to go away from that idea, Keith. I mean, you can see how successful the running game has been. All credit to the guys up front and opening holes, and the Placer running backs going right through them.
A 22-yard gain on the run on 1st and 10 by LD, and Placer is within striking distance. Low snap. Hall gets it, back to pass, pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, breaks another tackle, still on the move, across the 30, 25, and he's finally wrestled around the 24, and about a gain of 3 there. A great job by Andy Hall to make a couple miss. That play looked like it was blown up from the start, but great presence of mind to keep it going.
Absolutely right. I mean, he was back. He wanted to do a quick pass. It wasn't there. He evaded a couple of the defenders and wended his way down the field and made a couple of yards out of the whole thing.
So Hall and the keeper gets 3. It's now 2nd and 7 with 10:35 to go as the clock continues to run. They're at the West Park 24, and a touchdown here might put Placer up for good. Hall gives it up. It's a run up the middle. Gain about 1 or 2 there on the run, and it's going to be given to Lavelle Davis. So now a huge 3rd down play for the Hillman, up 14 with 10-12 to go. Won't be surprised they try to run this.
Yeah, I don't want to be surprised either, Keith, because I think this is 4-down territory. A little far away for a field goal try. I think this is definitely going to go 2 on this, and if they run the ball on 3rd down, you know they're going to run it on 4th.
I saw Jackson in warm-ups. He was kicking him deadly there. Up the middle. Still going is Luca Collins across the 25 and more as Luca moves the chains for the 1st down.
An excellent run by Luca Collins.
right down to the 13-yard line.
And that's exactly what we thought. They go ahead and they rely on the strength of their offense today, which is the offensive line, and it hasn't let them down. They didn't let them down that time either.
So Bolden, who had the fumble recovery for a touchdown, gets it down there to around the 13-yard line. First down for the Hillman. They go back to the run. This is Parada up the middle, makes another man miss into the end zone. Touchdown! Blaster Hillman! The Swiss Army knife GP puts it in the end zone from 16 out, and the Hillman up 20 with 9:32 to go in the third.
Very nice run, very nice hole for Parada, but he made a couple of nice moves going downfield to throw off the defenders and finally make his way into the end zone. Another one of those weapons in the Placer arsenal.
And so Ramirez back for the extra point, and the Hillmen are not just in the driver's seat, they're zooming down the freeway on 80 going towards Vegas, and everything is in their momentum and power here, up 20 as Ramirez set to deliver the extra PAT. Snap good, hold good. It is up and it is good right down the middle. 21-point lead after Gage Parada's touchdown with 9:32 to go in the third. And what a story, Phantom, for Gage Parada. He's finally 100% healthy at the right time, and he delivers a huge blow there on the touchdown run. And so now a huge drive coming up for West Park, down 3 scores. You definitely need points here with less than 10 minutes to go in the third. We'll see how the Panthers respond for the first time on offense. Ramirez running up towards it at the 40. It's a low line drive kick, bounces at the 30. Ball is popped up in the air at the 15. Finally taken by number 13, Bagley, and he's up across the 20, still going to the 25. And so Cameron Baxley with a huge return there. It almost cost him the football as Baxley had that ball pop up in his face, kind of like what Costa had in the first half on that kickoff return.
Yeah, you only give him credit maybe for a 15-yard return or so, but that was an excellent return by Baxley because he had lost control of the ball, went back and got it, and actually made something out of it. It could have been easy to pin him down inside the 20, but he got out to the 24.
They pin this football down at the 24-yard line of West Park. That's where they'll start. Shotgun formation for the Panthers on offense, as we'll see Barksdale for the first time on offense in the second half tonight. He's in the gun. Barksdale gives it up across the 20, and it's going to be a huge loss in the backfield there by the Hillman as the defense was all over Styles, number 16, on the 1st and 10 carry. Loss of 2, 2nd and 12 coming up.
Yeah, Barksdale chooses to attack with the run and gives it to Style, and that interior defense, the interior line of Placer, has been the shining light for the defense in the first half, and they did the same thing right there.
Another tackle on the season for Colin Bray, the lineman of the year in league play. 8:53 to go, 2nd and 12 from the West Park 22. Barksdale in the gun. Going to throw it long. Pass is caught at the 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, and that man is gone for the touchdown and a huge play for West Park. Just like that, a huge touchdown. It looks to be number 9, Sisson, as Ryan Sisson caught it at the Hillman 45. There was no one back there to defend it, and from there, Sisson just took off like a rocket, and West Park is on the board with their third play from scrimmage in the second half.
Yeah, and it was another time, just like earlier in the first half, we saw a play that they threw that same route, and the defensive back was just a little bit late coming over. It looked like he had a chance at it. Same thing right there, but once it got to Sisson, he was down the sideline. There's nobody to stop him.
78-yard pitch and catch from Barksdale to Sisson as West Park will go for their first PAT attempt of the night. Kick is up by Vickers. It's good. And I should preface that comment by saying they're second because they did go for one on the first time. So my apologies. But Vickers now 2 for 2 with PATs on the night. And so the Hillmen now, right back where we started to start the second half, it's now 42-28, 14-point lead for the Hillmen. So now Placer has moved up the first line to the 50. Wouldn't be surprised to see West Park and Vickers try another onside kick. They will not. It's a low kick at the 40, but the Hillman will just lie on the ball at their own 40, and a great presence of mind there by the kick team. I believe by the looks of it, that's number 11, Cole Shepard, who had a great job fielding that infield ground ball.
Yeah, he really did. He said, I'm just going to catch it and stay here, and all of a sudden they got first down on the 40-yard line. That's a really, really smart play by the Hillman.
Ball is now at the Hillman 40-yard line on the left hash with 8:38 to play. They're up 14 points in the third, and it's imperative and huge for the Hillman to keep this pressure going.
Absolutely.
Shotgun for Hall. He's going to give it up the middle, and that one is going to be a loss about 1 in the backfield on the carry up the gut. Taking that one by the looks of it was Davis, and so now 2nd and 11 coming up from the 39 of the Hillman.
Yeah, good stuff. One of the few times that West Park has stopped the interior run like that, but they really stuffed that one and set up a 2nd and 11. Let's see if Placer stays on the ground or if Andy Hall goes to the air.
The Hillman must stay aggressive. Too much time remaining in this game to get lackadaisical. 2nd and 11. They're going to run it again, and still nowhere to go for Davis, who for the second straight play is tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, and that's going to give them all the credit. They were out of the game in the sense at 3 touchdowns down. They put out that big offensive play to get back in it. Now they've stuffed Davis twice on runs, set up a 3rd and 12. This is a big play for the psyche of both ball clubs, actually.
And so now it's 3rd and 12 from the Hillman 38. They sub in Luca Collins. They've got Parada out in the slot. 3rd and 12. Hall has time, pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, going to float to the sideline. Pass is caught at the 48, and they're going to whistle it inbounds. And so a huge play by Parada, but nonetheless, he is about 3 yards short of the first down marker.
47-yard line.
As the pass is caught at the 47, and so now with 3 yards to go, the Hillman with a huge decision in this game.
Absolutely, and it looks like they're not even thinking about it. Now they are going to think about it looks like. Thought they were going to go right out and try to pick up that 4th and 3, and now they're going to talk about it for a second.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Hillman Phantom go up the middle of Lavelle Davis. We saw this in Chico against Pleasant Valley, where they just ran Lavelle up the middle, and he got more than 3 yards.
Yeah, and we've also seen Andy Hall drop back and do kind of a quick kick, so let's see what we got.
Hall under center. They send one man in motion. They're going to go up the middle, and it's a first down and more for the Hillman. And a huge 4th down conversion as Costa Alexic, the youngster they go to on the 4th down conversion, the sophomore, gets the 3 yards they need and then some. Ball is marked at the West Park 47, 6 yards.
Hard to overestimate how huge a play that is, Keith, on 4th down. Obviously, field position, but you get your offensive line and you say, we're putting it on your backs. You guys have been doing it for us all game. Clean up a hole, set Alexis through there, and coast it with a fine run.
6:52 to go as the clock continues to run the third. Hall back to pass. Play action. Has time. Goes downfield up the middle. It is going to be incomplete at the 15. All over that was Judah Jackson, number 1, who almost for a minute looked like he was going to pick it off there.
Yeah, not really open on that. And tough one because there's only 2 guys that look like out in the pattern. So Andy Hall looks down the field, and he didn't have any choice but to try to send it down there. But a guy, as you say, Jackson with excellent defense, and the receiver was not open.
The pass was intended for Parada, number 6. So now 2nd and 10 coming up, and that stocks the clock at 6:43 in the third. Hall under center again. They're going to go up the middle, back to Lavelle Davis across the 40, and he's tripped up at around the 38-yard line as Lavelle looks to have the first down and more with forward progress.
Looked like he might have got the first down. Yeah, Lavelle had trouble catching his footing there. He might have had a chance to break that one as he's broken so many tonight.
So they will give Lavelle the first down on the carry as he's tripped up at the 36-yard line. 6:32 to play, and now West Park just cannot get off the field. The Hillman continue to bleed the clock dry. Under center, Andy Hall for the 3rd play consecutively. Misdirection. Parada has the football. He cuts it back inside. Got a gain of maybe 1 on that one to the 35. And with 6:15 to go, the Hillman faced with a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, good misdirection there, but unfortunately at the end of all the misdirection, there wasn't anywhere for Parada to run. He got the ball on some good ball handling by Andy Hall, but just nowhere to go as the Panther offensive front 4 is actually doing a pretty good job so far in this half.
Ball is marked on the right hash, 2nd and 9, under 6 minutes to go in the third. They've got Prieto on the near side. I wouldn't be surprised if they go play action to Prieto here and try to take a strike deep. 5:47 to play. Hall under center. 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to give it up across the near side. They got blockers for Costa Alexic, who is out of bounds at around the 15. A gain of more than a couple, and well enough for the first down as Costa Alexic, the youngster, continues to marvel in his sophomore campaign.
Yeah, a lot of room for him to rumble. It came to the short side, and there was nobody on that right side, and Costa just got that big body going and went down the sideline. Another big play for the Hillman, keeping the clock going and keeping possession of the ball.
And the clock actually stops at 5:38 now.
Started again.
1st and 10 with 16 yards to go for a touchdown for the Hillman. Hall on the gun. Going to give it off to Parada, who cuts it inside across the 10, and he's down and around the 9-yard line. So the Hillmen continue to use GP on these gadget plays up the middle on the slant route, on the jet sweep. Doesn't matter. He's going to get positive yards regardless.
Use Alexic, you use Parada, and that means the next time Lavelle Davis has the ball, he's got that much more left in the gas tank because he hasn't had to carry the ball on some big carries. Parada and Alexic for the Hillman on this drive.
A 7-yard gain there by GP. Gets it down to 2nd and 3 at the West Park 9 with 5:02 to go. Hillman up 14. Hall going to give it up. Lavelle Davis cuts it inside across the 10. Still going to the 5. Lavelle still on his feet and finally wrestled down at the near side for a gain of about 4. And so now the Hillman on 1st and goal, trying to put the finishing touches on a huge touchdown drive here.
Yeah, big first down by Lavelle Davis on that one. He always goes for the end zone, but you really wanted to get the first down and get that new set of downs. And as you said, with just under 5 minutes to go, 1st and goal from about, it looks like the 5 or 4 yard line.
4:40 to play. Hillman at the West Park 4, looking to punch it in. They're going to go up the middle. It is a touchdown, and it is a touchdown. Hillman. Costa Alexic with his 2nd touchdown on the night puts the Hillman back up 20.
I think we might have to change that name to Costa Electric. That's what I'm going for, because this guy is electric. He's coming out here, and every time he touches the ball, give credit to the offensive line, but give him credit as well. Something's happening whenever he gets the ball.
And the only reason I'm upset about that is I didn't come up with it myself.
Well, it's okay. I'll share it with 50-50. It's Lennon McCartney.
There you go.
There you go.
4:36 to go off the 2nd touchdown run by Costa Alexic. It is now a 20-point lead for the Hillman. The PAT by Ramirez on its way. Snap a little high. No matter, no foul. They get it off good. And the Hillmen are 21 once again with 4:36 to go in the 3rd. Everything offensively going right for the Hillmen.
Absolutely. And Joey Montoya is probably on the sideline with his defense talking to him going, okay, we did it again. Now let's go out there and not give up a touchdown on the first play. Let's go out there and stop these guys and put this game away.
4:36 to go, and the Hillman up 21. This kickoff is brought to you by Auburn Trophies. 1221 Grass Valley Highway. Fan on the website.
AuburnTrophies.com.
77 combined points in this round 1 matchup here in the D4 bracket. Winner gets Vista Del Lago next week on the road, and the Hillmen are about less than 15 minutes and some change away from earning that berth. Up 21, a lot of football left to play as West Park's dynamic offense can score in a hurry. We saw that in the last drive.
Yeah, they have not earned the right to close with, say, under 15 minutes away from anything right now, the way that West Park is playing. Give all credit to the Panthers.
Ramirez sends this kickoff flying back deep. It hits at the 1-yard line, and Niolala, number 2, will just let it go in the end zone for a touchback.
Ramirez has done some great placement kicking from on the kickoffs today. Have you noticed? He's putting the ball on the side where the deep back isn't and making them make adjustments and not being able to come straight up the field. Great job by the special teams.
So this drive for West Park and the Panthers will start at their own 20. And what a story it's been for these youngsters. Their first year in existence, they win their league. Far from done in this one, by the way, we should mention.
Absolutely, and they've come out and really acquitted themselves quite well.
Barksdale in the gun. From their own 20 on 1st and 10. Drops back, plenty of time. Going to go for it all downfield. And he's got Sisson down there who was looking for a flag. And Sisson had no idea where the football was. He turned his head around the Hillman 40. Incomplete.
All right, it's hard to see if there's any infighting from up here, but I'll tell you, the Placer defensive back was all over Sisson on that play. And if Placer can make Barksdale into a drop-back passer, I think they've won half the battle on that one because that takes his legs out of it. I can't think that he will not set sail on the ground anymore today.
So Barksdale, who likely will have to use his arm to get this one home now, faces a 2nd and 10 from his team's respective 20-yard line with 4:29 to go in the 3rd. He moves style to the left side of him in the gun, lone tailback in the backfield. Barksdale, quick drop back off the hands of Morse at around the 25. too much mustard on the hot dog there as Morse couldn't get his hands on it. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Yeah, he really winged that one, and he had to make it. Morse maybe not expecting it quite that quickly. And again, they're trying to do the crisscross pattern, the crossing pattern in the middle of the field, and that time just a little too hot to handle.
4:27 now to go, a 21-point deficit for West Park. Your Hillman up 21 here on KAHI Radio, 950 AM, 104.5 FM. Barksdale and company desperately needing to move the football here on a huge 3rd down. Drops back the pass. Pressure coming. He's going to go for it. Pass is caught at around the 33-yard line by Sisson. And so now Sisson with that catch moves the ball up to 33 on a 12-yard gain. 1st down West Park, and that'll stop the clock at 4:21 in the 3rd.
Real impressive outing by Sisson. He's got passes for over 150 yards so far, so he has been a real thorn in the side of the Hillman defensive backfield.
4:21 to go here. West Park finally moving the chains on 3rd down. Shotgun again. Barksdale back to pass. Pressure coming. He's going to dart out of the pocket on the near side. Still going across 35. Cuts it back. Makes one man miss. And he's finally tackled at around the 37-yard line. And a great job there by Perez. If Perez had not been there, you could make the argument that Perez and Barksdale, if they had not collided, Barksdale would have been gone for another touchdown.
Still be running, and Perez showing you that co-MVP, defensive MVP of the league pursuit style right there. And Barksdale, it seems like he's going to set himself up now as the drop back passer, but he's very dangerous if he gets out of the pocket.
Gain of 6 there on the scramble by Barksdale. Moves the ball to the West Park 39. 2nd and 4 with 3:45 to go. Clock continues to run. They're going to go up the middle of Style, who's across the 40 and finally taken and corralled down at around the 42, as limping off the field is Lavelle Davis, who felt a little stinger there making that tackle.
And it looks like he's a little bit short of a 1st down, so 3rd and 1 as Barksdale trying to alter it, trying to change it up just a little bit and send Style up the middle. But that play, that's not really worked that well all night long.
3rd and 2, West Park at the 42. They got to get it to their own 44 to move the sticks. Barksdale, once again, the gun. You guessed it. They're going to go up the middle of Style, who has the 1st down, across the 50 into Placer territory as he's wrestled down near the 48.
That time a good run by Style right up the middle.
You better believe it. And Style has not been used, he's mainly used as the predominant back in this offense, has been quiet tonight. It's been Barksdale doing most of the running, but there, a huge run there on 3rd down.
You had to think maybe on 3rd down they didn't really look for Style. It was going to be Barksdale in the air or Barksdale on the ground, and Style went right up the middle. Good blocking by the front 4 of the Panthers.
Gain of 11 there by Style on the 3rd down run. Ball is now spotted at the Placer 47. 2:45 to play in the 3rd. They got to go back to Style on the running back, on the RPO keeper, as he's across the Hillman 45 and around the 44. Gain of about maybe 3 or 4. And so now 2nd and mid coming up.
Yeah, West Park showing a lot of variety now. They're kind of going to Style when they haven't really gone to him all night long. They've had 2 positive plays here in a row. That's just going to help Barksdale set everything up. But you notice West Park not taking quite as much time now calling each play as they had in the 1st half, because they've got to come up from the deficit.
Gain of 3 on the RPO, choice by Style. 2nd and 7 to go from the Hillman 44 with 2:09 to play in the 3rd. Looks like West Park dropping back the pass here. Barksdale, quick pass across the 40, caught at the 40 by Morse. 35 across he is, and he's tackled at around the Hillman 31. And so now West Park starting to throw some passes here, knowing they got to get this ball in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one was thrown very quickly, and I got a crossing route, and the linebacker just chasing him right across the field. Now, really couldn't do anything about breaking up the pass. Good play call, good play design by West Park.
The ball is currently marked at the 32, and we're actually going to get a penalty here on Placer. And it'll be holding on the Hillman, a costly penalty there, as that ball is now going to be moved from outside the 35 to inside the 25. They're going to mark this down at the 23.
Interesting that you get the holding call and the play. So that's a kind of a double whammy for the Hillman.
And it'll be 1st and 10 now, just outside the 20 at the Hillman 23 with 1:55 to go as the clock continues to run. They've got Niuala outside, far on the near sideline. Barksdale keeps it, cuts it inside, has some room, still going. He might have gotten maybe a gain of 1 or 2 there. 2nd and about 8 or 9 coming up.
Yeah, it shows how good he is, though, because there were 2 guys in the backfield with him, and he got away from both of them and managed to make it back out to the line of scrimmage. So even though it's no yards in the scorebook, it could have been a loss because the Hillman, good penetration on that one.
Gildo Gijan, number 73, credited with the tackle. They're going to say Barksdale got back to the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10 coming up now with 1:18 to go. At some point, West Park's going to have to hurry up the offense here.
You think so? Yeah, but I think they're happy with the way they're running the ball right now.
Barksdale in the gun. And fumble on the play, and the Hillman have recovered it at the 23-yard line, and that's a back-breaking fumble as the Hillman with their 3rd fumble recovery of the night.
And that was just on the exchange right there. It looks like he was trying to head up the style and just didn't get it to him. And the fact is that, you know, you say it's because they're young or whatever, but it's the fumbles, it's the mistakes, it's the turnovers that really have spelled doom so far for West Park.
And hold on here, we've got a Hillman down near the 25. We'll wait to see who it is. Who's limping off the field. So Nick Horn, the junior, having a tough time getting this island. You hope Nick's okay. He's a valuable part of the team on defense especially. Had a couple of fumble recoveries this year and an interception.
Absolutely, and you want everybody to be healthy. Obviously, you want Nick to be okay, but you want the team to be healthy. If they happen to close this one out and then they can move on, they need everybody.
This drive of the Hillman starts their own 23. It's going to be a run up the middle, as getting that one at around the 30 is Costa Alexic. And what a bright spot Costa Alexic has been. Gain of 6 on that one. From a sophomore to pretty much saving this team against Nevada Union. I don't think they win that game without Costa in Nevada Union.
You mentioned that a couple of times. I think you're right on. He came out, and we didn't even know who he was, and he came out and made some great runs against Nevada Union in a game that was back and forth, and he's done the same thing tonight.
They're going to give him officially a gain of 4. 2nd and 5 now. Haul back the pass. Going to float it toward the 50. That ball is caught the 50, 45. Prieto still going, and he's tackled it around the 38. A huge pass play on the play action. Prieto gets his 2nd grab of the night.
Big play. And that time, Andy Hall had somebody to throw to, and he dropped that ball in there perfectly. Really good touch pass to Prieto, who was open on the sideline. And if he had a little more room on the sideline, he might have made more yards. But a big play by Lasser. They keep it going. 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. You'd think they just let the quarter run out, but the way they're at it, they're very eager right now.
12 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ball now at the West Park 38. Hillman might get one more playoff as Hall comes to the line. He's going to get up the middle of Lavelle Davis, across the 30, cuts it inside, 25, makes one man miss, 20, 13, 10, he's got the corner, touchdown pass for Hillman. Lavelle Davis, another touchdown run, and that might have just put the game out of reach.
Huge run by Davis, got through the line and just told these two guys, you're not going to tackle me, I'm going to keep going. That's his 4th touchdown by my count and gets him over 200 yards on the ground for this game.
Lavelle Davis, the offensive player of the year in our league, showing you why he is the man of all men. Another touchdown, and Hillman, Plesser Hillman that is, have scored 55 points tonight.
Yeah, we talked about it. They've not seen anybody like Lavelle all season long, and for what West Park has done, and commend them for that, they just haven't taken on a guy like Lavelle Davis.
And now it'll take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Ramirez set to kick this PAT. Snap good, hold is good. Kick is up, and it is dynamite. 56 points combined after 3 quarters. Your Hillman lead it 56-28 against number 11 seed West Park here on KAHI Radio, 9:50 a.m.
104.5 FM.
For more Friday Night Football in the Foothills coverage, follow us on Twitter at KAHI Radio. Now, back to the game.
A huge run by Lavelle Davis. His 4th touchdown run of the night gives your Hillman a 56-28 lead as we start the 4th quarter. The number 6 seed Hillman well on their way to a 2nd-round matchup with Vista Del Lago. Keith Jouganatos and the Phantom. This kickoff by Ramirez, brought to you by Auburn Trophies. It's a good one. It's way long inside the 10. Niuala has it at the 3-yard line. He takes it out to the 5, across the 10, makes one man miss the 15, and he's pushed back at around the 13. And so the Placer Hillman Phantom are less than 12 minutes away now with 11:54 to go in the 4th from moving on, and they're up 28 points here. And what a game it's been for Lavelle Davis. Nothing but the norm for this season.
Absolutely. We talked about it before the game. They haven't seen anything like Lavelle, but let's give credit again to the special teams. A great kickoff, and then 3 guys on the ball carrier before he could get past the 15-yard line. That's just excellent work by the Hillman.
This drive for West Park starts at their own 15-yard line with 11:54 to play. Hillman up 28 points, 56-28. Barksdale now in the gun. One tailback at Style right next to him. Barksdale going to go long. This pass is overthrown by a mile. It's intended for Niuala, as having coverage on that one, by the looks of it, was number 23, Duncan. And Duncan, who has a couple of tackles tonight, has done great in the pass coverage.
Yeah, no way that pass was going to be completed. Duncan much closer to it than the intended receiver. And Barksdale just got the ball from center and heaved it down the sideline. Duncan in perfect position.
2nd and 10 coming up now from the West Park 15 with 11:49 to play. Barksdale once again in the gun. 2 wideouts to the near side. Barksdale going to keep it a run, bounced it out to the far side. He's still going 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Barksdale might be gone. He's got one man to beat across enemy territory, 35, 30, 25, 20. And finally out of bounds is DeVell Barksdale, who's had a 94-yard kickoff return already. And that run there gets him inside the 25 of Placer.
Yeah, and he just did exactly what he did in the first half. Keith, he took the ball and ran around the left side, and there was no one there to stop him. Luckily for Placer, they had a couple of defensive backs with the angle, but it took him 60 yards to run him down.
They give Barksdale to the 26 here. So it's a gain of 59 officially on the scramble by Barksdale as he bounced it out to the far sideline. 11:37 to go. Ball now at the Placer 26. Barksdale gives it off to Style, who cuts it inside of the 20. As he is in enemy territory, and really West Park has had no trouble moving the football, Phantom, but they've had these turnovers that have killed their drives.
Absolutely. I mean, they've made the big plays, but unfortunately as many big plays that they made, plus they've made the same minus, which is the 3 turnovers, all of which led to Placer scores.
Gain of 6 on the first down run by Style. Going to be 2nd and 4 now from the Hillman 20 with 11:08 to play. Clock continues to run. Lone tailback at Style again in the gun for West Park. Barksdale keeps it, zips it to the flat in the slot, making one man miss at the 10, and down to the 5-yard line by the looks of it is O'Dowd. So O'Dowd, who's already got 1 touchdown on the night, gets it down to the 5-yard line. Duncan with another tackle is 3rd on the night, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 3-yard line now for West Park.
Yeah, well thrown ball by Barksdale, and then, you talk about O'Dowd. He made a couple of moves like a running back and made a couple of guys miss and almost took that all the way in the end zone.
And O'Dowd did a good job being in the slot there, being patient and giving Barksdale an open target right up the middle. 1st and goal now from the Hillman 3-yard line, 10:33 to play. West Park taking their time now in the gun. Barksdale keeps it, pressure coming, and they get him at the 10-yard line. A huge sack lunch in the backfield there by the Hillman. It was number 50, Ramirez. He kicks the ball, but he also sacks the guy with the ball.
Yeah, and they brought pressure again from the outside, and Barksdale faked the handoff and then had nothing to do with it, because by the time he pulled it off out of the stomach of the running back, there were 3 Hillman right there with Ramirez leading the charge.
Loss of 6 on the sack from number 50, Ramirez. 2nd and 9 with 9:55 to go. Actually, 2nd and goal, excuse me. What a year Jackson has had kicking the football, but also on that defensive line.
Absolutely.
2nd and goal from the Hillman 9. Barksdale, you guessed it, in the gun. He drops back. Pump fake. Up the middle. He's finally wrestled down at the 9, and a great job there by the Hillman to cut off the corner so Barksdale couldn't bounce it out to the outside. He had to cut it up the middle, and there was nowhere to go where Maxwell laid the boom.
Well, the soft spot has been around the left side for Barksdale. That time the Placer brought some pressure from that left side, make Barksdale stand up and try to go up the middle, and good job pursuit by the interior lineman to bring him down for no gain.
3rd and goal now. Loss of 1 there, so now the ball backed up to the Hillman 10 with 9:09 to play. West Park most definitely in 4th down territory, so they'll likely go for it if they don't get the ball in the end zone here on 3rd and goal. Under 9 minutes now to go. Barksdale drops back the pass, zips it to the near side. Pass is caught, still going is Sisson, who inches forward, and he's tackled it around the 5. Gain of 5 on that one on 3rd and goal. Now 4th and goal coming up now from the Hillman 5.
And Duncan with a tremendous tackle. He was one-on-one with Sisson out there, Keith, and it was either make the tackle or it's a touchdown, and he made the tackle.
Got to be impressed with number 23, Jaden Duncan, the cornerback and the senior, has done a great job in the pass play tonight in pass coverage.
And they've caused West Park to use over 3.5, almost 4 minutes now in their first and goal situation.
Barksdale on 4th and goal. That pass intended for Sisson, incomplete. But it looks like we're going to get a defensive pass interference as Sisson could not haul in the football on 4th and goal on the slant route.
Yeah, in the middle of 3 Hillman, and it looked like there was some contact on the goal line before the ball was delivered. And if that's what's going to be called, it'll be half the distance to the goal, it looks like.
And so by the looks of it, like you mentioned, it is a pass interference by the Hillman. That will now spot the ball at the Hillman 2-yard line. First and goal, 8:14 to go in the fourth quarter.
And if they're going to score, then Hillman want to make them take as much time as they can to do so.
Barksdale in the gun, nobody in the backfield, cuts up the field, and he is wrestled down. Another fumble, and it looks like the Hillmen have recovered. No wordy just yet. And it is a Hillman recovery for a fumble. It is the 4th fumble tonight that the Hillmen have taken away. Good golly, Miss Molly. That defense has been everywhere tonight, poking that ball loose.
And just when you think that everything is lost, they stop the drive. They make them take 4 plays to try to score. On the 5th play, a really good hit by the Placer defensive line and separates the ball from Barksdale, and they come up with their 4th fumble recovery, as you mentioned.
And with 8:09 to go, the Hillmen now have ample amount of time just to kill. They take over at their 1-yard line, so that's the bad news. But on the flip side, it's better than giving up no points.
Yeah, they take over. That's the good news. On the 1-yard line, that's the bad news. But last time this happened, they got a big run right away by Electric. So we'll see if he does it again.
56-28, the Hillmen in complete control here in their round 1 matchup against the West Park Panthers. 8:09 remaining. They're at their 1-yard line here on 1st and 10. They're going to run it. And it looks like the Hillmen did not get out of the end zone. They might have gotten 1 or 2 and actually do. So by the grace of goodness, they get about 1 yard there out of the end zone to avoid a safety.
That was a slow developing handoff right there. Slow developing running play. Trying to get the ball around the right side. And just one guy reaches in and trips him up. And that's almost a disastrous safety. But he got it out of the end zone.
It looks to be Luca Collins who had the carry. So Luca doing a great job of just getting that ball out of the end zone. 2nd and 10 coming up, though. They're going to give them no forward progress, so the ball remains at the 1-yard line at the half-inch mark on the goal line.
And more importantly, time keeps running off the clock.
We're now at 7:30 to go in regulation. Hall under center. Going to give it up the middle. It's a big run and more across the 15 to the 20. Still going. And a great run there. And a great job by the Hillman. It looks to be Costa. Well, actually, Jaden Suggs gets his first carry of the night as Suggs gets this one to around the 17-yard line. And will actually mark at the 19, so a gain of 18 there by Jaden on the run.
And give credit to the offensive line and to Suggs, but, West Park knew the Placer was going to run the ball, and they still were able to carve out enough room for Suggs to make it 18 yards and get him out of a very sticky situation.
Well, they're out of that sticky situation. No stickiness involved on that run by Suggs. Gain of 18. 1st and 10 now from the Hillman 19, making one man miss. By the looks of it, is going to be Costa Alexic. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage on there. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Electric trying to go around the right side, and good pursuit by West Park. But good by all you want to do for Placer backs now is hold on to the ball when you're going to the ground, and that's what he did.
So Alexic will lose 1 on the carry. 2nd and 11 coming up now from the Hillman, what looks to be 17-yard line. But more importantly, Phantom, clock continues to run here with 6:22 to go.
Yeah, they just got to keep it going. Move the 6 a couple of times, and that'll be it.
Hall under center. Gives it off on the jet sweep, cutting inside. This is Gage Parada across the 25-30. Parada still going, pushed out of bounds near the 40, and another electric dynamite play from Gage Parada, who gets a gain of around 22 on that one.
Just a well-developed play, just a well-designed play there, because only 2 blocks had to be laid for Parada to get to the outside, and give credit to the Hillman outside receivers. They put those blocks on, and Parada had a lot of room to move.
Parada now is at the 37 after that big carry. It's a gain of 20 with 6:09 to play. The clock stops on 1st down. Hillman up 28, just trying to melt the clock and get out of here with a W. Hall under center. They're going to give it off, bouncing it to the outside, 40, 45, and out of bounds at around the 47 are the Hillmen on a huge carry there. It's another run by Costa Alexic at the 48-yard line. And with that run, by the looks of it, It'll get them the first down with 6:02 to play.
To see if they gave it to him. It looked like he might.
And might have gotten 1 yard short.
No, they're going to mark him. Yeah, they're going to mark him a yard short. So another good gain by Alexic, a 9-yard gain on the right, going around the right side. It didn't look like there was a lot of defense there. Good job by the Hillman.
Gain of 9 on 1st and 10 brings up 2nd and 1 now with 6:02 to play. Costa went out of bounds. The clock stops. Shotgun for Andy Hall. He's going to give it off. This is a run, and it's going to be about a loss of maybe 2 on that one, as Parada does not get any positive equity on that run.
Good job by the West Park defender. Reached down and got Parada by the jersey and held on for dear life. Parada trying to wiggle away. Couldn't do it, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 situation for the Hillman.
Ball's at the 44-yard line, like you mentioned, Phantom. 3rd down and 3 to go. Hillman got to get it to the 47 to move the sticks with 5:30 to play, and the clock continues to run.
And I got to believe it's 4-down territory for the Hillman.
Hall under center. Gives it off. It's Parada again around the corner near side 45-50. He's got the 1st down and then some as Gage Parada moves the sticks on 3rd and short.
Yeah, good job by Parada. And you notice there's no Lavelle Davis so far in this offensive flurry for the Hillman, and that's just good news. That's just getting other people carries, getting other people some opportunities out there and letting Lavelle take it easy.
1st down conversion there by Parada on 3rd and short brings it to the West Park 49. We are going to be officially under 5 minutes to go by the time this ball is snapped. We're at 5 minutes right now as the Hillman come to line up on 1st and 10 from the Panther 49. Hall hands it off. Run up the middle, across the 45, go the Hillman for a big gain there on 1st and 10. Costa Alexic continues to move the chains. He gets 6 yards on that one.
Alexic closing on his second 100-yard rushing game of the season. And I think the real heroes so far for the Placer Hillman tonight are the offensive linemen who really carved out holes all night long. And they're going to have 300-400 yards of rushing, and it's going to be primarily due to those guys up front. 2nd and 4 now. From the West Park 44, 4:22 to play as the Hillman continue to chew this clock as Vista Del Lago awaiting them in the 2nd round. Hall gives it off to Suggs, who's tripped up in the backfield. There was no offensive pass protection or run protection there, and West Park gets him for a stop there on 2nd and down. It's going to be a loss of 1 officially. Ball is marked at the West Park 46 currently. Got to go to looks like the 40-yard line for a 1st down, but again, getting down under 4 minutes now, and Placer taking their time, kind of pulling the little West Park out of what they did all the first half. They're taking their time before they snap this 3rd down play.
Ball was marked inside the hashes on 3rd and 6. Ball at the 46-yard line now. 3:37 to go on 3rd down. Parada with the carry across the 45-40. Has blockers 35-30, 25. Gage still going 20, 15, still going 10. Inside the 10-yard line is Gage Parada. A big run there. It's a gain of at least 35.
Down to the 9-yard line.
It's a gain of... It's a big gain. That's all you need
Going
to know.
around the left side again. Doesn't look like there's anybody there, and you got to give all the credit to the blocking. They really Parada. He almost was slowing down, trying to pick which hole he wanted to take on that one. He had so many choices and held up the big gainer. And that I think right now the Hillman could probably bleed this clock all the way down to zeros if they want to.
Gain of 37 on the run by Parada brings it to the West Park 9 here on 1st and goal. Ball is fumbled, and Andy Hall is able to hold on to it as he darts in the backfield to get that one. So something went wrong there on 1st and goal. 2nd and goal coming up now as the Hillmen are just lucky to keep that football in their possession.
And that's exactly what Andy Hall has to do. When the ball's on the ground, he's got to go ahead and cover. It doesn't matter about making yards or making 1st downs. You've got to just keep control of the ball.
It's a loss of 2 on the fumble recovery by the Hillmen. It'll be 2nd and goal now from around the West Park 10 with 2:40 to go. Second and goal, 2:33 to go. They're going to go up the middle. Getting this one is Suggs at around the 6-yard line.
Looks like Suggs on a straight ahead, and I keep forgetting how tall he is. He really is a tall runner going up the middle and leaning forward and getting all the way down to the 5.
They've got Jalen listed at 6'3" on the program.
All right, I'll go with that.
By far one of the most talented people and taller players on this roster.
Especially for running backs, yeah.
So this ball now is marked at the 7-yard line here on 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play in regulation as the Hillmen now just looking to get out of here and get the W and move on. And they're more than welcome to do that soon. Up the middle, inside, it's another touchdown. The Hillman strike again on the 7-yard run. By the looks of it, it's Costa Electric. Another one for Costa Electric. He is so electric, we don't have any problem paying the Smud bill this year.
No, I think we can use that name as much as we want. 3 touchdowns for the sophomore. Obviously puts it away, but more importantly, just kind of puts a capper on a night that was much more difficult, I think, than Hillman thought it would be.
62-28. We've got an injured player down on the field. Ramirez to attempt the extra PAT from the West Park 10 with 1:51 remaining in regulation. He's been perfect so far all night. Snap good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. 63-28. The Hillman well on their way to a second-round matchup with Vista Del Lago. And partner, I got to be honest, I know we've said this a whole bunch of times this season. This is as good as I've seen the Hillman play all year so far. All right, so the Hillman well on their way to a matchup with Vista Del Lago, up 35, 1:51 to go. They're going to kick this one off to West Park. Ramirez sends this one flying. It's caught at around the 10-yard line by Jackson, who reverses course upfield to around the 16. So about a 6-yard kick return there by Jackson. So it's 1:44 to go now. All that remains is the remaining time to tack off the clock.
All that remains is getting out of here with no injuries and go ahead and closing the door on this one. Shaking hands with West Park, knowing we're going to see you in the future and you're going to be tough to beat. We know that. Good job tonight, and we're going to move on.
And so now with 1:44 to go, ball at the 16-yard line. This thing is out of reach for everybody. So now, just a couple of more plays left to be run. Treston Kochar has come in at quarterback for Barksdale. What a night he had. What a game. We should commend that.
Very impressive player.
Kochar back to pass, throws it. Pass is caught at the 21 by number 34, Ben Osby. But they're actually going to say incomplete now as Osby could not hold on to it at the end. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a good pass by Kochar, but the hit by Plaster coincided with the ball getting there, and he was not able to maintain control. And again, Barksdale don't have the final numbers, but rushed for probably close to over 200 yards. And really was a problem for the Hillman all night long.
Kochar in the gun here now on 2nd and 10. Ball remains at the 16. Kochar got to hand it off up the middle. Gain of a couple there as the ball gets to the 20. As that one is carried by, I believe it's number 23 Mercado or number 28 Peck, but regardless, this ball now is 3rd and 6 with 55 seconds to go in the 4th. Kochar in the gun, 2 wide outs on both sides of the line. Drops back to pass, 2-step drop, flings it, pass is caught at 22, and getting out of bounds at around the 35 is Bevins, number 20.
Good play by Kochar. He's getting himself a couple of reps too. Again, these guys are all underclassmen, remember. They're all going to be back next year, and they're going to have another class of students as well, so they will be much stronger. And some of these guys will be a lot bigger than they are this year.
So ball now is at the 26 as Bevins gets the first down on 3rd down. We've got 27 seconds remaining in this one as the Hillman are just trying to get out of here with no injuries and nothing serious happening in these final seconds. Kochar dropped back to pass. He pump fakes, but a flag is down before that play even gets started. It's going to be a false start on West Park. 5-yard penalty. That'll net them back to their own 22 with 17 seconds to go, and the clock continues to run. I'd be surprised if another play gets off here with 10 seconds remaining.
Well, Kochar out there, he hasn't been out there for a lot of plays. He probably wants to run one, but it doesn't look like they're going to do it.
5 seconds, 3 seconds, and that will do it. The Placer Hillman, number 6 seed, they take care of business at home in thrilling and victorious fashion. They win by 35 points against an upstart West Park team, the 11th seed, 63-28. Credit to West Park Phantom, a great year they had, winning league in their first year in existence. The Hillman will move on now to play Vista Del Lago in the 2nd round with a 63-28 win.
carefully. Remember, the best of times, the worst of times, the right times. It is great to be a Hillman.